Good morning, it's Sally Morgan, physical therapist, craniosacral therapist, and Tellington TTouch practitioner for animals and people. This is Tristan, he's a Corgi, and boy, I can see a few of my loyal followers are out there after this huge break of, what's it been, 4 months? So I learned German, I passed the German class, I can now translate scholarly German acceptably. I would not say I'm any kind of skilled person at it, but did better than I thought, and had several trips to Provincetown where I was still learning German. Came back doing a lot of work around here, and finally back to my normal life. So, or somewhat normal life. So today I want to talk about some experiences I've had with the wildlife around here. It's been crazy times. We've had a porcupine get loose in the yard, and I've been using a bird feeder. I know across lots of the country they're not allowed to use bird feeders right now because of some virus that birds are spreading among themselves, but here in my part of Massachusetts we can have feeders. So what's most interesting has been what's happening around my feeder. So during the last couple of months, I'm still working at my educator job, which is remote. So I'm sitting on my computer by the window looking at the bird feeder, and I have had a mama squirrel kind of befriend me. She comes over, she banged on the window when she wanted more food. I put more food out. We've just, established a rapport. And then there's also been chipmunks. Now, as many of you know, I have some problems with those slithering creatures, and I have never seen a chipmunk here in 8 years. But this year, they're living under a hollow log in the backyard, and I have 3 or 4 or 5 chipmunks. So they have also become quite social, and they'll come sit on the picnic table and wait for me to put food out and then come back over and eat it. So it's been exciting. And 2 things have happened that are worth note, and I discussed this with Linda Tellington, and she said, oh my gosh, you have to share this. So I had my mama squirrel, and I know she was a mama because, she had some babies still coming with her when I first met her months ago. She must have gotten chomped by a hawk or something. She had a big wound on her back, right here. And really it took up about that much space on her as my whole hand on Tristan. And I was horrified. I was like, oh my gosh, am I going to lose her? She's still got babies, that are not that old. Well, I tried something that some of my friends who work in shelters have done. And that is TTouches remotely, from a distance. And so, I'm reading my stuff and doing my stuff with my right hand, but when I have breaks or take a break, I'm taking my left hand, holding it up to the window and doing circle and a quarter, just like this, circle and a quarter, over mama squirrel's wounded area. Now, while I'm doing this through the window, probably 12 feet from her, 10 feet from her, she moves closer and comes and sits on the picnic table and waits while I do more of this. Little circle and a quarter distance on mama squirrel. And she then does a squirrel sploot, which Corgi people know. She lays on her stomach, flat out, on a bench under the picnic table, so it's sheltered and safe, and lays there for an hour. I do a few more TTouches on her. I do some hard hugs on me and hard hugs on her, which would look like this. She gets up, goes away, comes back the next day, and that wound is looking so much better. And I do this every day for a week, and suddenly it's healed over. It's all skin now. It's got little hair around the edges. Well, this is several weeks ago that had skin all healed up, little fuzz around the edges, and she seemed fine. And every time she came, and my friend said, don't just put food in the bird feeder, put it on the handrail of your balcony along the edges so that she can come up there. So I've been doing that all along. So every time she comes, when she flips that side, I do some more TTouches on her. And it got to a point where she would come right up near the window, literally 1.5 feet from me. And I would just put my hand near the glass and do a circle and a quarter on mama squirrel. Okay, she got better. Within 2 days of that, I have a chipmunk come up on the table with one of his front legs completely curled under. So he's now a 3-legged chippy. And if anybody's ever seen chipmunks, I mean, they are really athletic, energetic little guys. So when the person comes to mow, they scamper across the lawn and they're like Pepe Le Pew. They're like boink, boink, with their little tails straight up. And to have a leg like this is really tragic for a chipmunk. And I don't know how it happened, other than that occasionally they jump off the railing on the deck, which has got to be 8 feet, which if you think about the size of a chipmunk and the size of us, that would be many stories, 20 stories that we'd be jumping out the window. So same thing. Chippy came and laid, and of course I have names for them: Chippy, Chipper, Chips. And I can tell them all apart, and all the squirrels. So Chips comes up and lays there flat, you know, kind of in a squirrel sploot with their little paw like this. And I'm doing TTouches through the window. And then with the chipmunk, I also pretended I was holding his little paw and just did like the tiniest bit of a circle on his shoulders, which I could feel my own shoulder hurting when I did that. Then I went back doing more TTouches. And as with the squirrel, he rested and then came closer to the window. I did some more little, just, you know, really they're clouded leopards and lying leopards, whatever I could get my hand in the position to do. And he did some more TTouches, and then he also did a little chip sploot and waited there. And then he hung out on the picnic table, which is right outside the window, for an hour or more. And I have a couple of pots of pansies that are looking all kind of spindly. He was hiding under there and behind the bunny statue on the table. And came back a couple more times with the foot like this. And now, if I don't really look at which chipmunk it is, I would never even guess which one had the hurt paw. It's like completely healed. And the day that it was completely better, it was almost like he came to tell me it was. Like he was running around the deck going like, hey, and like, and I posted some pictures on my other Facebook page of the chipmunk that was hurt sitting right close to the camera. And I mean, I swear that chipmunk knows how to be a model. You can see in the picture that he's like smiling, his little cheeks are up, he looks just like a corgi. And then he would do like the cute poses, you know, sit up like this, and then the sploot pose. And I took quite a few pictures that day and posted them on my other page. So it's just a miracle what TTouch can do. And so much of it is not just the physical contact, it's the intention and the energy of your intention and your spirit, yourself, connecting with that animal. I mean, I can't catch either of these guys. I can't hold them. I can't pet them, although I think Mama Squirrel, maybe I could touch her tail a little bit if I could keep at this long enough. But boy, I just am blown away at the power of this work to make such a difference in these animals' lives. And Linda is running an online horse course starting this Friday in a couple days. That's remote. So if you want to join, no matter you have a horse or not, or if you just love horses, you can take this class. And she has not done a dog class herself in a while. And I have a lot of people that are really desperate for that to happen. This horse one starts Friday afternoon, East Coast time, and is run during the day. It's like 12 to 8, Saturday and Sunday, something like that, East Coast time. But she's in Hawaii, so if you're on the West Coast, it's going to be much more like early for you. So anyway, I mean, the power of TTouch just never ceases to amaze me. And in fact, my friend Debbie also posted last week that she had done some work on a puppy, and she's been doing TTouch, I don't know, 15 years, and I've been doing it like 35 years. And she was still blown away by the results working with this one puppy that looked pretty hopeless. So this work will stay with you, and it will change you for the rest of your life. So try TTouch with the wildlife around you. If you see injured birds, I also use TTouches the same way on a nuthatch that flew into the window. And he was sitting there with his wing kind of down. I did TTouches down his wing. I didn't lift his wing because I didn't know how hurt it was. So I just did the TTouches on the wing, a lot of heart hugs. I did some hair slides on his little tuft on the top of his head. Feather slides in his case. And this is from the window, 6 feet away from him. And he sat there for a while, just like the other two, kind of hunkered down like a hen on an egg. And, you know, the other birds are coming and going, eating the seed. And then he kind of sat up, stretched his wings out, kind of got ready for a flight, and then took off. So I can tell you that you can use this in ways you never expect. When I did my TED Talk, I talked about your energy when you're putting food out for the birds, and are you doing it in a hurry, or are you consciously being grateful for their presence and for nature in general? And now, having had a bird feeder, I can tell you you can really establish a relationship with a lot of animals with a bird feeder. And I think I'll save the porcupine story for another day. That was another profound experience, and I have not looked up porcupines, but people keep telling me I need to read about them because they do have a lot of magic. So thanks for joining us today for this episode of Conversations with a Corgi, where we talked about wildlife and doing TTouch with them. And I don't know when I'll be back. We are planning now to go to the National Corgi Show in Virginia. So I have a lot of plans to make, and I'm working for a couple of days, and we'll have some more episodes to talk about this. But Tristan is now in like serious dog college, where we finally found an agility teacher, and we're working on obedience because that's supposed to help everything, and it sure has. And we're working on more advanced rally, so there's lots of stories about that stuff to share. So thanks for joining us, everybody. I will answer your questions. I can't see them now. I've also had an eye surgery since I saw you, and Tristan had a little lump removed. It's been all kinds of stuff in the last few months. So anyway, we'll catch up, but today, look up my early episodes, 20 to 60, about doing TTouch, and try doing some TTouch on the wild animals around you when you feel like they might need it. It can be really helpful. Thanks for joining us today. Everybody have a great day. Welcome back to Conversations with a Corgi. All the prior episodes are now posted on YouTube, so you can check those out. All right, everybody have a great day.